Ladies and gents, welcome. Welcome to the map that is named Cup, that doesn't necessarily look like a cup unless you're a little bit intoxicated and can see it. But this is a map from Hidden Cup, as many of you may know. And this is a game from the Hidden Community Cup, which recently ended. We had a bunch of different ELO groups. And here was the group that was, I don't know the range exactly, but I think it was like 950 ELO to like 1150 ELO. And this is a game from one of the finals. So, if you're interested in playing in community tournaments with different settings with people from the community, making some friends, having some games, getting casted maybe, blah, 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 listen to the end of the video. But we've got, anyways, a game here between Zelda Squad, who's playing in the red as the Portuguese, and then Renard, who's playing as Turks. So my first thought when I saw the Civ matchup was we're going to see gunpowder because, these guys are at an ELO where they could probably design a couple pretty solid game plans. And with it being a final, with the stakes being so high, I figured they might develop a plan that can work really well, but maybe has some risk associated with it, which would maybe be Fast Castle. But, you're really close together on this map. You should know where the opponent's TCs are located based on how the map works. Depending on how they're, how much homework they put into it, of course, I don't really know. Yeah, we might have players from the chat in game. By the way, this is a rec, so obviously players, if like Renard and Zelda Squad are here, just like don't spoil anything. So, thank you. Now, I want to talk about how the map works, which kind of makes it interesting. You can use land units towards the middle on the amphibious terrain. But you can also dock there. But if you dock this area, you cannot cross over the land bridge. And then same if you dock the other area and cross back over. So you kind of have to choose which side you prioritize more. And what I think is... Oh, that's dangerous. Okay, sorry, Renard. I didn't trust you at all. What I think is important is... kind of deciding how you want to play the game long-term based on your dock position, if you even dock, right? I don't know if this ELO will, but like docking here, you always have that constant threat of Navy or demos in the area that the enemy is most likely to use to pass over to your base. So that is like as safe as possible, as far as that's concerned. But you can't then use Navy to protect all this gold later on. So it's kind of a tricky one, and at least in Hidden Cup main event, we saw players kind of go back and forth on that. So I don't think there's a right or wrong reason. Yes. And hold on. Okay, so they paused, right? This is a wreck. Can we appreciate this? So Zelda says, Sec, I think I'm missyong a boar. Blue says, okay, just let me know. Oh, oh! I was about to make fun of Red for bad scouting. Okay, well, that's just freaking unfortunate. Okay, so it says okay. Hold on, I wanted to point this out. The discussion it says, "Will do. Let me ping an admin." So an admin came in and basically had to say, "You're not missing your boar." Man, he scouted so thoroughly. Holy crap! So maybe he's gonna assume his boar is over here. I know pigs in chat. This guy, he's not going to believe it. Oh, come on. Yeah, let's go that guy. Let's go, Berry Villager. Thank God for bad berry pathing. Because where would Red be without that? Red's probably going to notice the boar. But what was so cool here is during the pause, during a final, Renard was like, by the way, congrats on your ELO. I've seen you've been grinding. You're a pro. And Red didn't even say thank you, which is kind of funny. And Red says, I'm blinder than shit. Well, Red, you're really not. You're really not, actually. But I find that funny. So thankfully, that villager found the boar. But it feels like Red's been a little bit rattled. Red is now housed. And it's been a little rough because that boar was hiding there. So, oh my God. All right, so dock in this area for Renard. Fishing away. and then dock in this location for Zelda Squad. And Renard will actually have seen that if he was paying attention, or could see that and scout that if he's looking for it. There's deer around. There's berries around. There's just resources around in general to take. There's fish. Could see someone taking a risk and going for Fast Castle, but I mean, your stone's going to be so exposed. It's kind of hard to lock the base down. Probably makes more sense to be aggressive in some other ways. So, we'll see. Yeah, that's funny, man. I don't know, like, is it Hidden Cup maps that makes that happen? I think that's just being extremely unlucky, but that reminds me of that game that we just talked about earlier with Otto the Great and Hidden Cup, so. Anyone who's played this game feels Red's pain. Yeah. But also, like, I think it's pretty freaking epic. Like, salute to Arbase, and I think it was Dizzy who was casting it. Like, we actually had people casting this game live, and they could go to them and say, "Hey, is my map bugged?" and get an answer. Like, that's epic. For a freaking community tournament at 1,000 elo. Like, Dizzy, by the way, I watched some of your YouTube uploads with this tournament. You casted a lot of it. That's amazing, right? We had, like, basically in the Discord, there's an area where you could see if people are going to cast stuff. And you could go watch and hang out and chill and enjoy, so. Or volunteer to cast with someone. It was really cool to see that stuff, so. I didn't really realize that myself for a bit there. So, scouting's important here. And Blue runs directly underneath Red's TC with his scout. Drops the barracks, now drops an archer range, and is going to make militia. So thinking about maybe some man-at-arms. Timing on that's going to be a little delayed, but different than your normal game here. And also, you had the fishing ships, which takes a little bit more investment early. Red, I would give this a 3 out of 10 score for the scouting. But I would also recognize that maybe Red was a little stressed out with the boar. Doesn't really know much about the opponent beyond the berries and the barracks. Hasn't looked for a dock. Now, this is high level. You could scout this. You could assume, okay, the opponent's docked this side. That's not how this works, though. Right? You just don't know that people are docking at this rank, which actually adds more mystery to it. Fire ship from Red looking and just missing the militia. What a weird timing on this attack. And we are going to see militia headed this way. We'll see if Red reacts to this in some way. Red doesn't have a barracks yet. And so these militia waltz all the way across the middle. Trying to sneak, I think. And Red sends a scout over here and sees the dock. The dock that is making a demo right now for Blue. I'll keep you updated there. Red didn't see the militia. This is a freaking final, people. There was people in the community casting it. They didn't know at this time I'd be casting it, but they played this tournament over the course of weeks. Worked hard to get here. And Blue being patient there. Red showed some patience as well, not to just chase it down. Militia gang up on one villager, though, and oof, very close. Man, man-at-arm upgrade would have led to quite a few Vil kills there, but it doesn't seem like Blue really has the food. Love Blue's farming eco. Love that. I think that's really good stuff on top of everything else. And Red, like, kind of looked around with the fire ships, but isn't finding anything out there. But Red knows the militia are there now and has to make some archers. Battles that back with a couple Vils. That villager's exposed. Blue sees that, goes for her, goes for him. I'm really impressed with Red's eco upgrades. I'm not sure, like, wheelbarrow maybe was a little early if you really want to get critical on timings, but wood upgrade, farm upgrade, plus the fish, going into archers to follow up against this, really strong. But Blue's going to have archers on the way. This is going to be really tough for Red to defend from. If Blue can get fletching right away and combine the militia with the archers, could be really tricky. Look at Red's unit control. Look at Blue's unit control. Attacking the scout. Archers are here, and now Blue moves away. But, like, Red doesn't even have... It doesn't have the numbers yet. And here goes Blue. Blue's trying to meet up in this area. It's too close to the TC. a lot happening. The militia pull the archers out of position. What a play. I love that. Oh my goodness. This is I'm so happy. Ah, so impressive. I love that crap, man. Let's go. That's sick. And now red's like, what do I do? What do I go after now? Pulled off of the golds. Archers come in. Now in this situation, blue, you always want to focus down his archers. Because I know you want to kill Vills, but you're going to kill the Vills anyways if you kill the archers. Red is rattled right now. Is completely rattled, but is going to add fire galleys here. And has archers, has skirms. I'm a little stressed watching Blue's situation right now. Red's situation right now, because Blue's done such a good job, but... been a competitive game. It's been a close game, and red defense. Look at red's resources. How? Red took all the berries, added those farms, had the fish. And red's really close to clicking up to Castle Age now. So, just a couple tips here, right? Because these players are both pretty good. Just a couple things. I wouldn't even hesitate when you've got the sneak dock to move out with that first fire. Second fire, you're going to win water immediately. But don't mind the idea of moving out with the fires a little bit earlier. Might have been something red wants to do, but it's hard to focus on everything. So many different areas to protect. So many different areas you can pressure. What I love about Blue's play is that Blue kind of like made his walls in a tight little circle to make it easier to defend from attacks. Demo pops out, lands on both of those fires there from Blue. That's very well played, but red still has the fires around. Still no Castle Age click up here for Zelda because Zelda doesn't have a building yet. A building that would work for that would be the blacksmith, which is on the way. And KD 14-6 here for Zelda. Res collected way higher for blue though. But the fights? That's what it's all about. Demo. Bam! Nice job. And you got to be really worried now if you're red running through the middle area if blue likes to make demos like that. Neither player has a lot of range units. And both players have pretty good food economies, but blues is insane. So feels like a pretty natural spot to maybe add a stable. Think about a couple extra scouts, which could become light cav if you're Turks. You could also just wait for knights. Oh no. Oh, blue's like, oh, you're gonna kill my archers, huh? Yeah, go ahead. Try it. Try it, pal. Try it. Try it. Boom! Let's go! Oh, that was sick. And red knew it was coming as well. They're both laughing about it, but I love how like blue sent the archers in there and baited red to chase the last one. That was perfect. And up to that point, red was taking the better of the engagements. Sick demo. And obviously big momentum swing there as well. Okay, for blue, you're going to be feeling good about that one. And red's like, I don't have range units anymore, so we'll drop the stable. Makes sense. Archer's going to get boxed down. This archer as well probably is going to die. No stable for Renard at all. But did add a dock over here. So might end up sneaking the War Galley upgrade to try and win both areas with water. Great game so far. Yeah, demo completely reset the game to even indeed. Knights immediately on the way here from Zelda. And he's going Elite Skirm. He's going Elite Skirm because he's been up against a lot of archers. I wonder if he's expecting Cav archers. Because that's what we're seeing from blue. And so Elite Skirm would make sense against that. I don't think red's that concerned with this area anymore. Red could actually just use a knight to clear this up. But red doesn't know that blue's added a dock on this side. So eventually this could become an issue if blue makes enough navy there. Eco balance, a bit of an issue here for Renard. Or sorry, not for Renard, for Zelda squad. Just lack of wood, I'm noticing, could be a concern. So the market will go up to help with that. Blue now in love with the idea of demos. And it's like every demo blue has made has landed beautifully. And Cav Archer is going to go in and raid. But you need a massive Cav Archers to make it work. One Cav Archer died to the skirms. And now this one's getting chased away by a knight. What's the plan here? If you're seeing knights and skirms, could make sense to maybe make some camels here if you're blue. Maybe a couple light cav in the mix wouldn't hurt. And blue says, I just boom. We'll leave the security of the walls. Drop a TC there. I like that. Even rewalling is really smart. And then also a TC here on the stone. It's good. Wood and stone, wood and gold. It's actually textbook. This TC will go up for red. Uh-oh. The walls were here for a reason, right? The walls were meant to protect the eco. The villagers are now exposed. Red does see the CA. He figures maybe he can kill a Vill. We'll kill the Vill. But didn't see the town center there. Someone says both are playing like 1400 elo. Yeah, I am very surprised at the elo that's on screen. These guys are playing incredible. Like blue, 40 seconds of TC idle time. Blue with big demo shots, like tech switches, upgrades. I know that like 1100 elo is really good these days, but on a map that's not a standard map, on a map that's different. I mean, maybe they watched a lot of Hidden Cup. They did play this tournament, so they maybe got experience, but I think it's just been a great game so far. Like this does not feel like 1000 elo at all to me. I can already tell that we are not finished with blue demos. Like red loves to walk across these waters, and blue's got a dock on either side. I mean, both players should be considering demos at this point. But now it's like, how's your multitasking, right? A couple random units like this could pay off. Red's distracted, loses 2 Vills to a light cav. That seems to be a technique blue's going to try again. Don't send it to the same spot, blue. Like, don't make him pay attention to that. Looks like red noticed. Nice shot from blue. Still, I'm expecting more demos from the docks, but I haven't seen it yet. But it gets more complicated now when you're, like, adding farms and producing out of 3 TCs. Expected to make army. Expected to also make demos. Blue killed more villagers with the random light cav and continues to try that technique. Blue is on stone. So could build up towards a castle. Still needs to build up a bigger cav archer mass. Red. Have we learned nothing? Move away from here. You're stressing me out. Dives underneath the TC. Little risky there when someone has Bodkin Arrow and you don't have full upgrades. I think these knights are going to die pretty quickly, but red wants counter damage. I mean, there's an argument on if this is worth it, because you're going to lose all your knights, but your knights are discounted because you're Portuguese, and you had just lost a bunch of vills. I think that's fine. And based on what we can see, it actually feels like if red didn't kill a bunch of villagers soon, that this game would maybe fall apart for him. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Blue, just don't... Yeah. This is the way you do it. Oh, no. Oh, these poor skirms. Oh, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It wasn't their decision. Not like this, man. And there's another demo waiting over here for blue. Just in case. Cav archers, now they don't have to worry about skirms. Run over here. Red's falling apart a little bit. Cav archers will find Vill kills. Blue is flying economically behind this. And actually, as long as blue can hold a little bit of control, even if that means just having the opponent chase you for a little bit, would be a good time to maybe think about your castle spot. I think a castle in the middle here could be really good. Kind of protects both sides. Wouldn't mind a castle in this area too, right? That's what a lot of people do for the gold control. Blue has 15 cav archers in queue out of 2 archer ranges, which is definitely a lot, but hard to focus on that. And look at that guy gallop off into the distance. Yep, there we go. That's like, it's one of those bugs I hope the devs don't fix. It's kind of new. It's always funny to see that. Sheep will do that as well. Red, 57 vills, but I'm liking the way the eco is balanced, and I like the army comp. Like, Skirm Knight, really good. And blue runs directly into the TC fire, and oof, most of the CA will go down. Might kill a few more villagers here, but not before Red's going to be able to go over there and clean that up. I think Red could be making a couple ships as well, right? Oh, God. Town Bell. Zelda Squad! It's one thing if it's low elo legends, but you've seen my video, surely. It's all right. We're gonna say that was a misclick. I think that was a misclick. Yeah, this is just asking for a demo. But no demo is being made. 21 Cav Archers for blue out of 2 archer ranges. Can someone tell me how much wood 21 Cav Archers costs? Because he has 600 wood in the bank and then 21 CA in queue. I mean, I'm never going to complain about someone having units in queue because it's... Oh! Oh, heart attack, heart attack, heart attack, heart attack. Blue says all, but you know, having units in queue means you're going to have more military later, which is always a good thing, but it's like 1,000 wood. Zelda Squad says only 1 for Dizzy. Yeah, Dizzy was watching this. I saw 2 Zelda Squad. I saw 2, so only 2 for Dizzy. Dizzy getting the shout out. Love the castle here. Renard going to get one of the relics there from the middle. Red knows to avoid the middle now because of the lurking demos. Red still has not made any demos out of these docks. Knights have to avoid the CA. That's the way you've got to play it. And if you're a skirmisher, you avoid the water. That's just how this goes. This is about to become a bit of a base trade, I feel, because blue has to react to raids, which could get messy. And the Cav Archers have to decide where they go. Now, what happens here is if you react with the Cav Archers, that's fine. But that gives Red a little bit more time and focus at home. And the Knights are finding some nice kills here. The TC does have Bodkin, though, like we said, and so should kill the Knights a bit faster. And the CA are here. Blue just has done such a good job producing out of TCs, as did such a good job getting the timing of the TCs. And a lot of it actually comes back to the Feudal Age macro. He had so many farms. Red needs to find an engagement on the Cav Archers or this is going to be trouble. What a fun game with so many different demos. Hard to know that too. Like based on the score, I wouldn't think that my opponent's on the way to Imp if I were Red. You've no way of knowing, having that sense that you're 30 or so villagers behind. I like the thought though, to get more military buildings, get more upgrades, and just keep moving. But you could tell, like, Red is totally scared of moving this way now, just because of those demos. Even if you're not making the demos on this map, after you hit them once with one, they just completely change the directions they move. It's going to be, like, the late game composition here for blue. I mean, honestly, it could just be Cav Archers at this point, right? Against Castle Age. But Cav Archer Hussar makes a lot of sense. Blue is just, like, continued with Cav Archers, and chemistry is free, of course, in the Imperial Age, which is 50 seconds off. No ballistics, which could be an issue, but that is a lot of Cav Archers. Oh, man. Oh, I know what blue's going to do. Well, blue is to kill these knights, but I know that blue's going to try and demo these again, which is why there's another demo on the way. Needs to garrison. TCs are here for protection. Red has killed more villagers than blue has this game. Things get a little messy here for blue, you can tell. This is why you got to ask questions of the opponent. This is why you have to raid like this. Maybe a little too late here for Red, but killed 23 vills, killed some of these Cav Archers. Red is also on the way to Imp. Red, you might just want to stay here, honestly. You might just want to stick around, try and kill these Cav... Don't you run that way! Red? Red? Have we learned nothing from this game? Okay, alright, honestly, respect. Respect to you. Now, can you please leave? I'm so scared. The Cav Archer's headed this way to try and get kills. Man, the amount of times blue just sends one random unit into his opponent's base is amazing. It's such a smart tactic. Especially with Turks, right? Where you have that, with Turks where you get the, Light Cav and Hussar upgrade for free. You'd be surprised, guys, if your opponent does a wall, how effective that can be. Just that chemistry upgrade alone is enough where the Cav Archers could actually take decent fights against the Skirms. But I don't think you actually want to. I think you want to wait for the Hussars. We have Bombard Tower being researched right now. Bombard Tower for Renard. Bombard Towers would be sick. Really strong with the Turks to control different positions. And wants to control the water area. I mean, this has just been a key focus area for Red this whole time. For Blue this whole time. We've seen it with the demos. Red about to be an imp. But the Hussars are going to kill the Skirms. Even though there's not that many upgrades, it's just straight Skirm for Red. I mean, Blue's just all over him. Has control of the gold area. Has relics. Has his 30 villager lead. Bombard towers now with Turks. Now, this is a tournament final. So there's that aspect, you know, in terms of the fight and how you want to approach this. But just feels like everything Red's doing right now is just desperation. Taking that fight, that's never going to be it. But it's a fight you take when you're just kind of hoping, because if you lose any more ground, you're likely dead. Blue still didn't click Bracer. Blue is 30 Cav Archers in queue out of 3 ranges. Okay, 10 per range. Everything's as even as it should be. Not bad. Blue, since you're a viewer, I am just going to laugh at the fact you're getting Treadmill Crane over Bracer. Over upgrades for your Hussars. But Treadmill Crane wins the game. Boom. Wow, what a fun game. That was a really fun game. Blue played really well. Who is Blue? Is Blue in my chat right now? This player doesn't feel 1,000 elo, man. This player's macro and micro was really, really good. Very, very solid play here. I will say that Zelda squad, I say we'll learn a lesson, like we're going to see these settings again in a tournament anytime soon. Maybe, I don't know. We haven't decided what the next Community Cup in June is going to have for a map pool. But it almost felt like Zelda squad struggled to utilize the water aspect, right? Like the docks here, both players had docks here. Both players are going range units. One player was making the demos consistently. And I think that stabilized the game. Like Red had more military at one point, and the demos equalized it, which allowed Blue to be able to go for this eco-focused type of game. I also do think, as much as I really like the Portuguese, when you have to play in towards skirms with them, it always feels very weird. It feels like you always want to be taking advantage of their cheaper gold units. So it's either knights, or that's either like knights or archers, I would say, or organ guns. But like, just based on feel from my perspective, it always does feel like the Civ isn't really taking advantage of their bonuses or feeling that strong if you're not taking initiative and playing through gold units. And what is the number one unit you want to make against Turks? It's a bit tricky, but what unit, if you have a lot of, do Turks really struggle to defend from, guys? No, not demos. Crossbow, because they can't get elite skirm. Now, yes, of course, it's a little spooky because Turks do have the light cav with the extra pierce armor, but light cav with extra pierce armor is still not enough against a lot of crossbow. If you hit a good crossbow timing against Turks and they don't have elite skirm, they could really struggle there. I think losing the amount of range units in Feudal Age is what was the biggest problem here for Zelda. Turks get the late game. They're one of the best civs in the game, especially with so much gold. So, GG. What elo would you guess Blue is playing at? Again, it's hard for me to say because this map is not a map that I see a lot of mid-elo players play. That's where it gets really tricky. Also, can we appreciate this Hussar? How this looks? You just so rarely see that. It just looks so unique. But, yeah, I don't see players play this map. Blue really felt comfortable with Cav Archers booming and the aspects of this map. Red didn't feel as comfortable in the aspects of the map. Now, we need to give a shout out to who won the final because it was the final. And Zelda Squad won 3-1. So red in that game won 3-1, which is crazy. And obviously we're not going to see the other games right now. That was apparently game number 2, which is apparently the best game from the final. But red ended up winning the final 3-1. So maybe just didn't have it all together that game. Maybe, wait, hear me out. The other maps didn't have demo potential. Arbase, can you confirm? That must be it. After seeing that game, that must be it. Okay, is Elysium in chat, who's very upset I said that, said, no, I learned. Okay, all right. Well, as long as you learned. If you didn't learn in the final, you're going to learn moving forward, because the amount of times you kept moving over that terrain was stressing me out. Okay, the other maps had more demos, but Zelda learns. Cool. Well, I didn't actually show the res collected here. I got Blue played an amazing game. Didn't actually have as much food income, like didn't actually farm that much, but just put a bunch, just used all the food production for Vils, and then just spent wood gold for Cav Archers. So like Cav Archer spam is really strong. And wood gold is for the ships as well, right? And then of course, you know, the rest is history with the stone and the castles and bombard towers and everything. Looks like the players at similar speed. But yeah, GG and well played to both those two. And congratulations to Zelda Squad for winning the final of that community group.